Welcome everyone to America's Home for Racing. For today's coverage, it's the CKNA Spring Nationals as we get set to go for the final day to see who gets some hardware. It's going to be an exciting one from the real world Charlotte Motor Speedway here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Happy to have you with us here from Charlotte for the CKNA Spring Nationals to decide who's able to come out on top. I'm Justin Prince, Brownlee Dalton alongside for today. We have Grace Overbeck and Haley Donaldson down on pit road throughout the day. LCQs get starting off here this morning. We have 3 LCQs where drivers will look to battle to make the main show. 14 laps the distances for these LCQs. Only the top 4 advance. Here's a look at your first lineup of the day for the senior lights brought to you by CKT. Dylan LaPointe will start in first. Lucy and Laser in the second spot. Stanton and Yoshikawa. How about your top 4 here, Bradley?
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone here on P5. It is going to be coming up Max Schwartz, Matthew Landers, and then Brandon Bowden, and then Sophia Naspora in P4, 5 through 8, respectively.
Yes, indeed. You also have Ryan Miller. You have we'll start amongst those in the top 10 positions here this morning. Diego DeFrancisco down at 11th. Then Jenna Barnard will be amongst the top 12 today. Looks like they're still trying to tell the drivers, make sure you get in the tram lines for drivers like Clay O'Brien and company. Mind you, this field for the light is 32 karts deep. When you have only 4 spots to advance, Bradley, the pressure is on, to say the very least. You don't have any room for error. You don't have any room for the wrong pass attempt to make the show.
Yeah, talk about a wake-up call on a Sunday morning when you lost an hour of sleep last night. Show up, show out, and then say, hey, by the way, if you don't perform and get in the top 4, you don't get to race later today. This is it. This is done or dusted. It's your weekend made or your weekend over. So let's see how these drivers perform. I really would watch for anyone P5 through P10 to be extremely aggressive here on the first couple of laps to try to make moves. And then from there, it's the defense category. If you're up front, if you're Dylan LaPointe and on the point, I mean, you've got the easier job of the day, I'd say. You need to just maintain up front. And I say easy is a relative term. It's going to be anything but. As they take this left turn here through turn 7 to go backwards past turn 6, and they get ready to hit the tram lines here. We'll give it a second try here for 14 laps around.
Again, we're happy to have you with us for today's coverage of the CKNA Spring Nationals. The chance to see who can succeed the most in the big stage here this spring. The field ready to go. Green, green, green. We're underway from Charlotte. 2 and 3 wide to start things off in the opening corners. A little bit of argy-barginess with Laser and company. But already, look at how fierce things are getting for the battle for 4th. 2 by 2. You could go at least 6 rows deep for drivers trying to make passes with some contact popping up.
It was an immediate charge there from Lucian Laser on Dylan LaPointe to try to find a move here. And everyone behind knows that they need to get up to the top 4. So this is where if you're further back in the field, we saw this yesterday, we're going to keep seeing it today. The further back you are in the field, the more you're going to push, the more you're going to give it a try here to try to get ahead. Lucian Laser currently running the charge right now. We've actually had the 752 drop back several places here as we go along. So starting on pole, not ideal here as we cross the line and we get ready. Lap 1 is done. Let's see how the rest of this can go.
And keep in mind for Laser, this is one of his first major outings with AMAX. He signed with the team back in November. Running over at K1 Circuit Whiteland for some of the club races over there. He also made appearances over in Route 66 should say, in 2025 for some of his racing stops. Again, following along with those on the pylon here on the broadcast today, all LCQ drivers who advance will be marked in blue. In red, you're in the danger zone. A few of these drivers in a bit of danger coming up to 14 and 15 with some cuts to the grass. Some of the others, like Naspora, trying to get the outside to work. Kind of need to make these spots as quick as possible. You cannot afford to be side by side for too long and lose ground.
Not at all. This is a case where if you can get single file, if you can find a friend, nobody's a friend right now though, Justin. That's the thing. We talked about this a bit yesterday. Everybody's friends with each other here on the paddock, but at the same time, when you hit the track, it's all competitive, and here we go. This is gonna be the run that we see. It's a 2-for-1 special, and the 008 of Laser drops down to third. That's not bad for now as he's trying to go through. We've got one cart off here, down into turn number 8, but it looks like that is not going to affect the race as we go through and along. And let's see here as everyone carves their way through this circuit. Right now, I'm looking at Nespora, the 257 and P8 looks to be trying to think of moves here early on, but nothing to do yet. Lap 4 of 14 done here. We've got plenty of good carts here in the mix, and Laser, that AMAX cart, as you mentioned there in P3, was leading for about a lap or so, and now is going to be looking to try to charge back up, is trying to just stick to the back.
And Yoshikawa is the one up at the front for the time being, though, is the critical thing for their sake early on to be able to try and set something up here. For Yoshikawa, has been a driver who set some pole times previously in CKNA competition in the North Division, in particular back in 2025, and is right now trying to make sure they're in the show, along with Stanton. Goes up Laser, Lapointe on the bubble right now is the critical thing. Keep in mind, look at how much the deficit just closed up in the past couple laps. 2 cents for Landers and Schwartz. They work together pretty quickly to chip away that gap. Landers, the first driver out in one of the best carts.
Yeah, Landers there with Prodigy Motorsports in the best cart, trying to find a way into the top 4. You got to pass Dylan Lapointe, though, and Dylan Lapointe can be on point in that 752 cart. Can have a great run there if he can make that Mac Minarelli cart work. We'll see if he is able to hold on to it, because as we go, there's a dive from Laser on Yoshikawa down the inside. That's a great pass there coming through 10 and 11, one of the most popular passing zones we saw yesterday, I'd say. If it wasn't turn 1, I felt like it was always turn 8 or turn 10. So as we cross the line here, we get this going. Laser up into second. Yoshikawa and Lapointe and Landers have swapped positions, and here we go. More battling in the back. Nespora now making a move forward. It's all to play for. We're not even half race distance.
Yeah, right now, so far, we've seen some aggression pop up in the bubble spot here. Look at that. Landers able to make some passes. Laser wants to make some passes back. Bring some buddies with them. Lapointe able to drive back alongside and make the move. Now they work their way through the final sector to set something up. Landers loses ground. Miller, one of the low-key racing carts, able to jump ahead. Some of those low-key racing machines trying to pick off drivers, as drivers like Laser just trying to get the outside to work. How about a pass on the outside of Lapointe making it stick to move up to third. Miller's now in the 4th spot. Make that. Landers up in the 4th spot. They are shuffling spots like shuffling cards in a deck.
Tell you what, running 3 wide here, coming through into turn 6, 7 as they go. This is going to be a case where if you're feeling like sour milk dropped on a floor, it's probably going to be your fault as they go along. There's the head nod. There's the point forward there from the 024 of O'Brien. He's saying, let's go, let's go, let's get a run, let's get it going. Let's find things along and see what we can do. And here's the thing right now, everyone wants to beat you, so you asking for friends is like asking what 2 plus 2 is. It's 4, and the answer is always going to be 4, because the answer to can you help me get up into 4th place and get that last transfer spot is a resounding NO spells no. Laser here, passing Miller as they go through. That's the shuffle for P3. I would argue that Miller and Laser, you would think 3rd would be safe. It's not here, Justin, as they go up into turn 6. Anyone's guess how 3 and 4 finish up, but 1 and 2 have pulled a gap.
Right now, as we go here past the second half already of this one, a bit of a squeeze off the racetrack. That cost a little bit of ground, it looked like, around Nespora and company. As a result, we see a huge amount of time lost as a result of the on-track through turn 8. Able to get back in line still wants the top 10, but that is still not enough to have a chance to go forward here. It's about to say, with all this being said, Laser's got a lot of pressure behind. He's got Miller making sense. Miller up 6 now with the pass, able to move up to the top 3. Bubble is now Laser. Landers yet again watching along. At this point, that Prodigy machine has been all over these battles here in the 20s over the weekend. He's kept himself pretty crafty already. Miller say we gotta work together to set something up here if we want to get away from the bubble.
Keep an eye further back here. The number 47, Nathan Heath, he is up 21 spots on the day and has the fastest lap so far. He's on the back of this train right now, and if Nathan Heath can just get a little bit crafty right now through the final 5 laps, can try to work through the field here and possibly, and I say this with the most caution here, possibly work up into a transfer spot. There's the 47 up the inside there into 10 and 11, or going through and around. That's a great move. Actually, that was 1 and 2, my apologies, but that is going to be a great move there. Getting up and through, that shows that 47 of Heath has some pace there in his Invader kart with Cole Nelson Racing. We'll see if he can find a little bit more pace and try to squeeze up to this front pack.
All sorts of shuffling as we come up to the final few laps. Ryan Stanton, by the way, is still holding on to the lead. He's right away by 2 seconds. Then a cut into the grass. A little bit of troubles with the Sony kart. Able to hold on to it there. O'Brien and company having a bit of a scramble. 3 wide as a result outside the transfer spots. These drivers really pushing the edge of the window here. Schwartz amongst those getting pushed back once again with the shuffle. But this has built the cushion for the top 4 or 5 now, making the top 6 from everybody else. At this point, it's a miracle going to be needed for everyone else that just got into that battle 3 wide, all while Landers and Laser train for 3rd.
And Landers Laser here with Miller and O'Brien in the mix. This is 4 karts battling for the 2 transfer positions that are not secured yet, but nothing is ever secured in karting. Let's not play this down. The 22 runs off. Landers has to cut the corner there as he goes through. As Laser holds along, we'll see how that plays out here because Miller wanted to work around the outside, isn't able to. Laser's trying to hold on to the front here. Again, it's elbows out, it's argy-bargy, it's all the battles that they can have here as the 077 of Miller there sends that low-key kart, high key around the inside, getting up into P5 here, trying to hold on as much as possible. And who's coming in the background as these 4 have went side by side by side by side battling? It's Nespora and it's that 47 of Heath up 23 places and counting. If those 2 close up to the back, again, I say it, that 47 kart looking very fast today. It'd be amazing to gain 27 spots to make your way into the final today.
Be unreal as a little bit of a slide. Nespora has really executed a lot of times off the racetrack to avoid spinning out through at least 2 to 3 trips, going wide. Couple laps to go, double sticks in the air. Final times around, coming through with Laser going wide that time, losing a lot of ground. Laser pushed all the way off the track as a result. Laser's race has unraveled in the AMAX.
We said it, nothing's done in karting till it's done, and for Laser, it's dropping positions. Now look at this, the 077 of Miller goes up the inside there on Landers. That is to try to get P3 now as they go through, and who is that in the mix? That is the 47 of Heath going all the way up, trying to get past O'Brien. That would be for P5, and then you get a 1-lap charge to go for 4th place. Let's see what happens here. We have 1 car off into the grass there on the inside of 13. We'll see how this plays along. Here we go, white flag out, Justin. 1 lap to go into 1 and 2, and this is 4 karts who could possibly make the final 2 spots at least. But remember what we saw yesterday, Justin. The more they battle, the more the karts behind go. You can close down 2 seconds in half a lap if you start getting side by side and battling. So nothing's done till it's done.
And especially since for these drivers, the pressure is on. If you are Landers, to make no mistakes. Right now, Ryan Stanton, one of the driving instructors from Oakland Valley Race Park, up on the front of the field. The New Jersey-based driver, likely to come away with the win, will indeed take the celebration as you see. But down on the bottom side, it's side by side for the transfer. Right now, Landers looking for the pole. O'Brien, did he get it? The battle ends up going Heath out. Landers does hold on.
That was so close on the run there. You gotta commend the 47 of Heath, up 26 places on the day, but unfortunately, you have to be top 4. It's not top 5 that transfer. So you're 4 transferring through here. Ryan Stanton, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Ryan Miller, and Matthew Landers. The 4 karts that make it through.
What a stunning end to this LCQ, to say the very least, here in that one. As in the end, comes down to 7 1,000ths between the 22 and the 47. Clay O'Brien also got shuffled out as Bora towards Strawn Laser. What a drop back after his off track. 10th spot is where he ends up finishing in the LCQ. We'll have to go to the drawing board for the next time out. DeFrancisco Ashcraft, along with Vicente DiMaggio, along with Barnard, Livo, Himo, Linscott, Gillen, Wojciak, amongst many of the others in this field. Arabia, Olsen, Bowden in the top 23. Lajani, along with Day, Zillar, Dylan LaPointe dropped a fair bit also over the course of this race, all the way down to 27th. After starting at the front, we've seen him amongst those who went for a slide late into the grass. So our first LCQ is complete here, Bradley. That was wild, to say the least, for the transfer once again, but we get to do it a second time.
What a way to kick off the weekend. This has absolutely been amazing. So we'll see how this goes here. We've got Matt Lander standing by here down with Grace in the pit lane.
Well, you know, everyone's going at it because LCQ and last chance you get, and that 4th place spot was really, I mean, last lap I was going into the hairpin and I was like, I don't know what was going to happen, and I was surprised I made it to the line because they had a huge run on me going to the line. But my motor from Howard, it got me to the line, and I was able to make the final. So
yeah, you secured that position by 7,000ths of a second. Just how bad are you wanting to get into this final?
Well, I mean, me and Prodigy and Chris Murray at Prodigy have been working on this kart and trying to develop it, and we're getting closer and closer, and I just want to represent the brand and get into the final and prove everyone that we can make a kart fast.
Well, let's see what you can do.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, we'll take a break. When we come back, more coverage. You're watching the CKNA Spring Nationals from Kart Chasers coverage from Charlotte.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Are you ready? Karts are on the track for our next group. It's the juniors ready to roll to decide who makes today's final this afternoon. Let's find out how they'll start today for this LCQ. Randy Harvey ends up being the first one out for the point structure as Henry Maskell will start alongside Tiago Fernandez alongside Samuel Wirrer in the top 4. Names scrolling through quickly because 19 karts are already in the track lines. Waikato of note, starting in the top 5. Keep an eye on him in this one. We're underway with a lot of contact. We're 4 wide up through 2.
These junior karts already kicking things off early here. They got the chance to watch the senior lights and see what they did in their LCQs, so now they're going to take some notes. You're going to see some drivers do some different strategies here likely than what we just saw because they want to try to do something different. Nobody wants to end up in the position of fighting for every position the entire race along, so it's going to be a little bit different of a race, but at the same time, it's going to be a hard-fought race already down the inside. Looky there. There goes the number 33 of Wyatt Cataldo. You already said to watch out for that number 33 kart. he's already moved from P5 to P2 in the span of half a lap around this 0.6 of a mile track.
And here they go. Cataldo, what did I say about that? Already up to second. Harvey is going to continue on here with this one. So as they roll on through, we'll find out where a lot of these battles shuffle the pack, of course, as the morning goes on. Fernandez and Masco wants the top 4. This train, though, goes all the way back to as far as 8th in the early going of this one. Make it 9th if you include Van Horn.
Seeing the spots drop down and around, this is going to be one of those that if you've lost any spots early, you're fighting to get them back quickly. This is going to be one of those that if you can gain some spots, you're going to fight to gain even more spots while we go along here. Harvey there in the front in the 455 cart, fighting very hard here right now to keep Cataldo behind. Cataldo had the fastest lap, and then Pearson Gulseth in P7 just snagged it away at the line here. So we've got 7 quick carts going through. The top 10 all extremely similar in pace here, slightly spread out, but they're all running pretty good times right now. We'll see as these 14 laps go how the tires act, how the drivers act, how the karts act, and what they can do to get these engines, get these karts, and get everything going, as we've got a lot of side-by-side here coming through turn 8 into 9 and 10. That's the 0-1-2 of Henry Mascol trying to dive around the inside, trying to hold off to the outside, the 637 of Moreto, and we'll see how that goes along here as we go through, still holding side-by-side.
Still trying to fight hard up amongst these drivers towards the edge of the transfer spots. Masco still able to hold them back in one of the steel machines for the time being. And again, the major thing as these drivers shuffle is you've got to get the chance to make the move without losing too much time. Right now looking to fend off some battles, though. Look at the defense for getting away from the bubble. Fernandez trying to move down a little bit. Better peel off coming off turn 9, though. Sets up some side-by-side behind. Sets up some side-by-side in front. There's the Sen alongside the 112 and able to move on up and around. Moreto able to make some passes here to be able to get around the steel machine.
Some crazy battling going on so far here. Again, we see it, the top 2 trying to run away, and then it's P3 that's really feeling the pressure. It's not even 4th place that's feeling the pressure. It's P3 that's really feeling it. So you kind of have 2 spots that it seems like once you get in those positions here, 1st and 2nd, they've been able to really settle in, because 3rd and 4th just don't settle in. Here we go through 6th, through the left hand of 7. That was the 637 of Moreto, who was able to make a great move there down the inside, trying to move along. The 0-1-2 of Mascol now shuffling into 4th place. The 112 has dropped several places now going through. We just continue through. Gulseth and the 812 is now the next card in line as they go along here, coming through the S's, heading towards 14 and 15. I would expect to see this swap again into turn 1.
They work their way on through in the battles as they try and go side by side. Gulseth, once those making some ground, able to jump up around the 637. Gulseth able to jump into the top 4. Pearson Gulseth so far up 3 on his charge. One of the carts moving to the field by way to shout out. Travis Van Horn, 7 spots. Matthew Holland up 9. Amongst those that are inside the top 10, you see that on your pylon. They try and make their way quickly to join this bubble battle.
Yeah, the bubble battle here, it's gonna pop at some point. The question is when. We're just now approaching half race distance. Everyone trying to keep their carts cool, calm, collected, keep the tires together. A defense there from the 112, an alternate line there going into 14 that we haven't really seen a lot of people take. And you see the hand signals all coming through. Everyone's saying, let's charge forward. Here's the problem. Everyone's charging for the same spots right now. So let's charge forward isn't exactly a great choice here. You really are in a position of let's get forward, but then how do you keep everyone else who wants to get forward behind? This is the case of karting where it's defense more than attack right now for the 3rd and 4th place, Fernandez and Gulseth. They are really more worried about defending. That's coming together though. That's the 812 down into turn 8. We've seen that move. Fernandez tried to cover it off. Contact. Kart went 45 degrees sideways, but somehow they keep it together. They keep it forward, but that opens up a move for Mascol to try to get around down the inside.
And that's really seen a few of the drivers you've seen with some off tracks also pop up halfway through this time by. Right now, Harvey Catoto comfortable to be able to transfer, but it's still up for grabs for everyone else. There's the charge we mentioned with a couple of the drivers. We were trying to get some of the spots back after losing 3 to start this one off in the first half. At this point, you've got to find a way to go. And right now, your driver on the bubble is Giordano Tadeo, who is right now one of the competitors who races out around in Canada, in Quebec, trying to find a way to hold off Masco and company. You see that buffer really starting to grow this lap, though, over top the steel machine. While some of the others just try to catch up and close up to that bumper.
Samuel, we're here right behind Mascal as they go through and along, come across the line here, and we're gonna see 4 laps to go this time by. The battle's continuing to heat up here. We're trying to make a run through here, and I want to keep an eye again. A hard charger on the field. Matthew Holland up 10 places, fastest kart last lap through in that Cosmic Kart with Atkins Speed Center. That is a kart that clearly is from a speed center, has some good speed, is catching up to the back of this pack slowly but surely. But will you have enough time to get a pass through, or will you run out of time here as they go along and continue to keep this battle well and truly alive down into turn 10 and 11?
See some shuffling amongst those in the pack as they try and figure out where to go. How about the inside for Fernandez to be able to maybe make a pass? Down to the final stretch, less than 4 to go. Coming up through in this action, less than 5 to go, should say, for the field. The buffer's really built up half a second, though, as a result of that squabbling, and they have lost touch to Masco. So, what do you do to try and gain up what is going to be a hard time to close up? 1 second in the span of you have to do it, and a couple laps if you want a chance, and they are not working together. They are still losing ground out of the transfer spots.
Yeah, this is the problem. They need to recognize that they're outside of the transfer spots and they need to work together. They're not fighting right now for a transfer spot. They're just fighting for a position here. And this is, again, the problem of you've got to find friends sometimes in the worst of moments. And you can see here, that is where the gap sits as they go along. That is a considerable gap they find themselves on as it continues to open up. 1.6 seconds that last time through. Matthew Holland now in the lead of this group, and we'll see if Holland can close up that 1.6 in 3 laps. That is a hard ask as they come through turn 6 and turn 7. It is a big ask, but you know what? I've seen crazier things happen in karting, and again, here's the thing. You're going to see Mascal and Moreto and Gulseth start to battle here soon, because they know out of the 3 of them, only 2 make it through. They start battling, that gap closes, you invite 6 other karts to the battle, and I tell you what, all of a sudden it feels like prom.
And well, all you can say is, if you want to be able to get the last dance, you better find a way to make the right decisions. Right now, the top 4, lots of those you can say who have done that. Some of the other drivers like Fernandez see the race fall apart. The tires seem to be falling away for the 112. You see the hand raised originally through 2 and 3, for example. Things not looking good for them. But some of the others like Holland should say, Alonso's really able to charge up through this pack. 13 spots, like one of our last races, what we just seen the previous LCQ rather. This 9, once the hard chargers thinking, if I had a better spot, I might have had a shot. But still, have to think, with a couple laps to go, can this top 4 keep things secure with a lot of pressure on? You see the steel machine still staying in the draft.
2 to go is the signal, and you see Fernandez dropping well down the order there. The 112 now down into 12th place, going along here into the back of that large pack behind. Up here, we have the 812 of Gulseth and the 637 of Moreto, who are continuing to battle it out at the moment. The 012 of Mascal has dropped off from these 2, so if they can recognize their P3 and P4, and we talked about this yesterday, Justin, that big Jumbotron on the backstretch here of Charlotte Motor Speedway, you can see that going into turn 8. So if you really want to take a moment and look up, if they can recognize where they're at in position, not battle it out too hard, they can help each other make a chance into the final this afternoon. Right now, as they go through, it's 1 to go, and it's a battle for the lead that's popped off out of nowhere. Harvey and Cataldo swapping places here through turn 1. 1 lap to go. They want to see who can get the win.
The Coyote of Cataldo, the RRD of Harvey, trying to sort things out to see who takes the checker flag here. They're well and true in control, but Maskell, one of the drivers for the Ohio Valley Karting Association, looking to see if they can make a last-ditch effort for the pass. Top screen, battle for the transfer. Pops on up. You see the other angle on the bottom side. From the far side, a swapper ready for the 4th position. Maskell making the move. The leaders coming down the front straightaway. Down to the final stretch, side by side, Harvey, Cataldo. Celebrations on from Cataldo. It ends up being for 3rd spot, going to go the Mateo. Maskell gets the 4th spot.
Maskell very patient there, able to get the great run there on the final corner over Golseth. That gap 5/1000ths of a second. You couldn't put a piece of paper between them, honestly, and that is how close the gap was for that LCQ transfer.
It ends up being in the official tally through race select 0.031. Then you have the 637, that was 3.5 back, then 2.2 back for Maskell. Golseth, the first one out. Hohen, Van Horn, and company also off. So, as they exit the track, through this one, we'll look through the rest of the grid, but we'll get ready to go for a quick step aside. We come back, we'll be able to speak with some drivers potentially, if not, LCQ action for a 3rd time.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
2026 Cup Kart South Series, February 20th through 22nd at Finish Line Karting, March 20th through 22nd at Daytona International Speedway, April 24th through 26th at Music City Karting, and May 29th through 31st at Bushnell Motorsports Park.
Paulie Massimino wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix! James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars!
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrakracing.com.
Field already getting set to go. It's Senior Medium, Steel Senior Medium specifically for their LCQ. Happy with this one's going to Kart Chaser. Here's the lineup. CKNA and Zeno amongst the top 2. Eric Fagan, remember, involved in incidents early on in the weekend in Heat 1, starting 3rd. Lucian Laser starts off in 4th. Lehman will be amongst the first drivers out. They'll go around one more time. That'll give you the chance probably to look through the rest of this order.
Yeah, rest of the order here, and again, as we've seen, it can be anyone in the top 15 who can have a good run. It's Weiss and Shad, it's Miller and Hewitt rounding out your top 10. From there, a couple names I'm looking at. Shane Reddy looked really good yesterday. We'll see if Shane Reddy is ready to go through. Dylan LaPointe starts in 12th place. I think that's a driver to watch as well. Brody Strong down in 17th, and Zach Rinker and Ashton Wheeler, they're 20th and 18th respectively. Those are names that I feel like we said a lot yesterday that are here in this LCQ. Again, reminder, only the top 4 make it through the LCQ. We'll see who is able to make it through. A name that we haven't said here in the LCQ, though, Henry Wheeler. We said yesterday we thought he was going to be in the LCQ. He is actually going to be in the final, starting 41st after his issue in the second heat. He got very lucky.
Yes, I heard that conversation, the point metric. But 37 cards lined up. Cam Burris, the last of them, remember, was involved in incidents in Heat 1. We're underway for the LCQ as we make our way to the opening corners. So far, so good for up at the front of the field because everyone else for fourth is too busy figuring out where they want to be. Some drivers go off the racetrack and visit the grass. Others keep it side by side.
And everyone you can see already realizing they've watched 2 LCQs. They know what they need to do. Somebody there elbowing their motor, I think. I'm not sure what is happening there. I see somebody reaching back, hanging with the motor. That's the number 92 who is trying to work his way along. That is Scott Kleeman, who is trying to find a way to work on that motor. I'm not sure what might be happening. Hopefully everything sorts itself out. Looks like Kleeman able to keep going here. The 214 dips a wheel in the grass. You see the hand come out, not happy with how he's being raced. Up front though, we have battles already starting.
So far, so wild for the senior medium LCQ, but we do have at least one driver going to be happy to advance. Let's head down trackside with your 4th and junior LCQ, Henry Maskell.
All right, Henry, we haven't been able to catch up with you yet this weekend, so can you tell me about how your weekend's been going so far?
Oh, it started off very rough. I'd say we were having problems in practice. I lost my GoPro, so it was very hard for us, but we worked on our kart, we made it faster, and we had to get here because I struggled in the heat, so I was qualified to do the last chance qualifying, and the start wasn't very good. I mean, I completely blew that, but even as they started to draft off each other, I managed to just make my way up, and on the very last lap, I decided to go with one of the karters, and that move worked, and I just can't believe it because I just wanted to race, so I managed to qualify into the race, and I'm so stoked about it.
That's awesome. And I might be wrong, but I believe that you got into the contention 4th place by just 0.05 of a second. How are you feeling about that?
I didn't know at first, but then I learned that I managed to get it by just like a couple hairs, so I couldn't believe it.
All right, well, it's awesome, and congratulations.
Thank you.
See some of the elation when it comes to his reactions there. By the way, as we were having discussions, Jackson Miller did go off the racetrack, either a tire or a GoPro popped off the kart. Either way, that would end up being a penalty. 1 race end or race disqualification when it comes to Jackson Miller. But as we've talked about, some of these drivers, each of these races that have different tones being set. The tone being set here, precise movements. Warm, laser, CKNA, Hamasano should say, amongst the top 4. But look who's also back there. Well, he just cut through the grass a little bit, getting checked up as CKNA, but you also have Shane Reddy as a result making some passes.
Shane Reddy up 10 places here so far. Shane Reddy showed up Sunday ready. An hour of sleep lost doesn't make a difference here, as we see Reddy now up into the final transfer spot, the hot button spot here. The not safe spot is what I'm going to call that, because it's not safe until the checkered flag comes out, honestly, for anyone in that 4th spot as they go through. So let's see, as we come through turn 7, how that can handle out. Top 2 trying to slightly break away here. 0.7 of a second at the moment. Not able to do anything too crazy. Passing to turn 8 though. That's a beautiful move back there for 3rd.
Yeah, and Shane Reddy, we know, has the ability to cut through one of the PPKs. Look who's also amongst those in this field. This should say how difficult some of the races have gone for a couple of competitors. Yeah, Brady Shad also in this LCQ among some of the heavy hitters here. Those are 2 drivers you normally would expect to be on the front. But there is a penalty pending. We are hearing, though, in the case of Reddy possibly. So at least one of these drivers on the charge will have to be dealing with post-race that could see them shuffle.
And we have the news. It's failure to leave racing room for Reddy. Reddy finished behind the 24 is the result here. And that, for Reddy, up in 3rd right now, that is going to hurt significantly, because look where the 24 is, all the way back in 10th. That is really, really going to hurt for Reddy. So what does that mean for CKNA and Shad? They are going to be the ones fighting in P4 and P5 for P3 and P4.
A lot of hands being raised as some drivers get squeezed onto the back. Just in that same moment, green's white. We got pushed back to 18th for good measure, so it gets even worse now for Shane Reddy. More drivers having some slow ups coming through the middle of the pack. A lot of karts having some push-offs there and some tight battling. Seeing some hand rakes down as a result, coming up to the halfway point. So right now, CKNA unofficially is the cut line, not ready. CKNA, who's gone off twice this race already, is just hoping, quite simply, that happens not again.
Here's the wildest thing to look at right now. Look at what that 62 has done so far in this race. Reddy is all the way up into the lead now as we go through, but it's all for naught with that penalty as the 24 shuffles further around in the order. For Shane Reddy, he's not going to know this because he's racing on track, but it's all for naught. It's a hard charge, up 14 places. But what's going to happen, though, when we go through? Because that's also 3 penalty points coming his way. And he's, again, not going to have any idea. It's not like they have radios in these karts and they're talking to the team and the team can communicate anything that's going on. This is just hard racing and going through and thinking, all right, I'm up, I'm going. This is just shaking this entire senior medium LCQ on its head, and we're 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, CKNA right now really just trying to fight as hard as possible here to make sure it doesn't lose any more spots here. The result, up now behind him is Kellen Weiss, by the way. He's able to shuffle a little bit in the order in that blue cart. This gives an opportunity for some of the drivers we haven't really touched upon really much of the weekend to really have a chance to shine, because Ryan CKNA, seeing that name so many times it seems last year, have a lot of steady battles, usually ends up being in having to have a wrestling match. One of the drivers from Mooresville, mind you, local to the area, one of the competitors that keep busy in this region, is also raced to the Trackhouse Motorplexes club scene in regards to those events. Has a brother as well that races in the racing scene of Jack. So that family keeps itself pretty busy locally amongst those karts, and right now CKNA is on the unofficial cut line with about 5 more laps to go.
Yeah, CKNA here trying to hold on here in that 996, that MGM kart, trying to hold along. We talked to MGM yesterday. We know that's a lot of pride to run that MGM kart, and we'll see here for the 996 if CKNA can hold on to this spot, because it's going to get real dicey here through the last few laps as we go along. This is going to be the moment where for CKNA it's all about keep it going, keep it together, and really hold on behind. But you got to wonder, are they going to just work to charge up for Laser, because they know that that P4 spot is all important? I don't know, again, that they're going to realize that they are the P4 spot right now. Let's see how they dive along, what happens. We're going to have one heck of a post race here for LCQ, because it's going to be a wonder how that goes, because I would imagine the 62 there of Reddy is going to 100% look at overturning that. He is going to definitely appeal. It's a matter of, can he win that appeal?
Yeah, and now this is going to be the interesting thing here with Laser also losing ground. There's a chance if Laser keeps dropping back in his AMAX here. Remember, had heartbreak in the last race, was in the transfer spot most of the way, but now will slip on back. Now we'll have to try and hope CKNA and Sano do not draft on by, because in theory they might think that's still the transfer on the racetrack. With 3 laps to go, there's the signals for the 2 drivers to sync up here. CKNA willing to get some help here, obviously. You have Berto, who is also in the conversation, one of the Burrell arts.
Yeah, this is going to be one to watch here. Laser kind of in a world of his own right now in that AMAX kart. Has lost touch with the 222, the MGM, but has a bit of a gap here to CKNA, who, as you said, Justin, we saw that hand signal forward saying, hey, let's work together, let's go get them. They're going to go for the fight through. And here's the thing for Palmisano. At what point does that 539 decide to not work together and go through? At some point, that 539 Coyote part with Precision Performance Karting is going to decide, you know what, I want to get the pass done. I want to go through. We'll see here what happens. But again, if you're not in the top 4, it almost is all for naught. It matters, though, where you finish. But at the same time, the top 4 gets you into the last dance of the day. So if you can go through, if you can make it work, it is going to be great. And you can definitely say at the end, it'll be worth it.
Less than 2 laps to go right now, unofficially. Shad, Warm, Laser, CKNA, the transfer. There's the gap, though. Remember, these drivers on track think Laser's still the bubble. They're starting a battle to try and set it up. Now, Pomisano might be feeling something's up. He went for a small look. Point blank, already waving. Here comes CKNA, trying to get himself what is third amongst the transfers. That puts Laser on the bubble.
This is amazing to watch through. Let's see here. CKNA, can you hold on, though, against Laser? They know that this is for P4 through, and meanwhile, you have Reddy up front, who is going to be completely unaware of what's coming post-race, going through. Shad in second, Worm in third, as they go along here, and it's Laser, CKNA that are really battling it out for a position they don't even realize they're battling it out for. Let's see how it goes along here. Laser definitely under pressure right now for fourth as they go through, as we come up on the checkered flag now.
Checker flag waves up front. Shad takes it on track. But the transfer, you see them zip side by side. And Pomisano unofficially has it. I don't think you realize he has it. You see the hands raised up there. CKNA, Worm, unofficially amongst those on the transfer.
And another heartbreak for the AMAX driver of Lucian Laser down. The 008 falls down to P7. But as you said, it's that trying to officially figure out who is where here. Shane Reddy showing in second right now in that Precision Performance karting cart. We'll see if that penalty can be appealed. If it's appealed, we'll keep you updated, because what a wild way to finish an LCQ.
Yes, indeed. Mind you, so unofficially the first driver out in theory, Laser, Dolak, who is the biggest charger, Muscles in the top 10 also. Some of the others that are looking to see what they can do next time out. The 24, that's how far back Shane Reddy can drop. 21st position we're talking about when it goes to Reddy. 20th, should say, when it comes to the 24 machine in that spot. A big swing as we'll send things down to Grace Overbeck. Grace, standing by.
I'm here with Shane Reddy. We just had to break the news to him about his unfortunate penalty, but I still want to talk about that race with you. You got up to 14 positions up, and you had so much pace. Just tell me about it.
So basically off the start, there was a little bit of carnage in the start, so I got around a few karts there. From there, I knew I had the pace to keep going, so then I just keep working my way forward, eventually getting into the lead and just kind of pulling away a little bit.
And this isn't going to be the last time we see you. You're still running the light class. I believe you're starting 29th. What is your goal for that class? What are you trying to achieve?
Hasn't went the way we wanted in that class, but if we can get into the top 15, I think that would be a really good result.
Awesome. I'm sorry to tell you about that, but, you know, you got light, right?
Yep.
All right, well, congratulations
Thank you.
for your buddy over there, Brady Shad, who won this race.
Thank you.
So an interesting end to this one. And again, we'll see how things fare out in the finals later. But we'll take a quick break. These drivers will have a warm-up session for those in the finals coming up. You're watching Kart Chaser.
This is more than a race, it's a destination. Cup Karts Canada invites you to the Canadian 4-Cycle Championship, May 15th to 17th at Mont-Tremblant, Quebec. Race on a 1.2-kilometer technical circuit just steps away from the iconic Circuit Mont-Tremblant, where Formula One once raced. When the racing's done, enjoy everything Tremblant has to offer: the pedestrian village, restaurants, shops, hiking, and unforgettable scenery. It's elite 4-cycle competition and a perfect family getaway rolled into one. Racers from across the United States and Canada, this is your invitation. Cup Karts Canada, Mont-Tremblant. Come be a part of Canadian karting history.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Who the f is Kyle Cuthbertson? Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the dirt.
Karting isn't just speed. It's control, precision, freedom. At Atlanta Motorsport Park, Kart Freedom isn't just a team. It's where drivers are made.
Hey guys, I'm Chris G. I'm Kart Chaser's driver fitness coach, and today I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to strengthen your shoulders for more endurance and better stability in the kart. Here we go. Okay, so exercise number 1 is the front rope pull-through cable raises. Okay, now this is the upright cable row. What you are doing here is you're picking a straight bar, as you see, and we're working the side areas of our shoulders, the medial. Exercise number 3, the dumbbell shrugs. As you guys can tell, I like to pause at the top before releasing. It's great for your strength, for that wheel stability. It's great for those shoulders and that upper back area. Chris G coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do here. See you on the next one.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to the future of kart race preparation, Kart Sim Pro North America. Featuring laser-scanned North American kart circuits and precision-tuned kart physics developed using real telemetry, dyno and tyre data, Kart Sim Pro North America delivers the most advanced and realistic kart simulation experience available today. Whether you're training for race day, refining your lines, or shaving tenths off your personal best, Kart Sim Pro gives you pro-level insight without leaving your home. Trusted by world champions, coaches, and karting enthusiasts alike, this is where virtual practice translates into real-world performance. Experience the thrill, the challenge, and the edge. Kart Sim Pro North America. Use code CHASER20 to get 20% off today.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Are you ready?
Hope you've been enjoying the coverage so far. When it comes to our warm-up sessions here on Kart Chaser, the CKNA Sprint Nationals currently in the midst of its final warm-up group. On lawn as the Steel Senior Mediums close up their respective session here today. But for those who are following along with our coverage here today, whether on the racetrack or whether on the virtual webs, keep in mind we'll be moving behind the KC Premium paywall in a little bit. To become a KC Premium member, all you have to do is sign up through the memberships. It's $9.99 a month. You have the opportunity to watch racing not just here but across the nation. Of course, remember, if you're an Apple user, there are special different ways to do that, of course, because of the way the fees can work. To the Apple side, make sure you go to the YouTube side, specifically if you have an Apple device, to make sure you are able to get that $9.99 rate without any fees. So as we go on here, Bradley, your thoughts before we get ready for the finals today, because these drivers going through their final checks. We already seen as well the LCQs have aggressive a couple of the battles were in a couple classes.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. If the LCQ is anything to go off of here, Justin, I think that what we see in the finals is going to be amazing, shocking, aggressive, excitement. It's going to be everything that you would hope for here at Charlotte. It's going to be impressive, and to be frank with you, I can't make predictions. I've been looking at the class rosters here during the warm-ups, trying to get an idea of who's where for what. I have not a clue.
Well, I will say there is one thing that people should be aware of was, remember the core cut felonies when it came to the LCQ for senior mediums? Well, specifically in terms of how many times you see the 996 peel off, well, that's seen them get a 3-second penalty. That's why they will not be in the final today. Kale Zerman, final warm-up session of this event. Top of the board by 9 with that over Amundsen. McKeithen, Faber amongst the top 4. Some of the other notables, Glide down in 13, gets down in 16th. Speck, who's been up on the front most of the time, down in 18th position. So there were more than 40 karts that took part out of the 50 entries in the warm-up session. So as the rest of this order goes on through, one of the major things is with the world of karting, you have to think how things fare out for drivers. As we look through the rest of these results here, some of those drivers for the LCQ are going to have to get to work here, Bradley, to say the very least, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, there's a few different drivers that I'm looking at here, especially Nick Sobiek in P40 here in the warm-up. That's a very interesting area to find themselves in. Some drivers who didn't put times in: Hunter Fox, Matthew Landers, Lorenko, Lucas Theck, and Adam Maxwell didn't put in times here in the senior medium warm-ups. This is going to be interesting to really watch through and try to get an idea of who's got the pace, who doesn't. Of course, warm-ups are never the final indication on the day of pace at all. Some drivers do the proverbial sandbagging where they just get out and they kind of, they treat it like a workout warm-up. They get a little loose, they get a little comfortable, they just kind of get back in the flow of things. But of course, here at CKNA today, after warm-ups, it's the feature. There's no additional races here. You've just got to be ready to go, Justin.
Of note, already received one note from the scales. Nicholas Capolongo did not hit the weight. He was one of the final drivers that was on the track when it came to that warm-up session there in senior medium. It's the opportunity to make sure everything is buttoned up equipment-wise, is what I'm trying to refer to, though. You don't want to have any mistakes on your equipment. You don't want to make any mistakes in terms of what you have once you hit the actual race, because the 18-lap distance, you have to get it right, to say the least. So, as we work our way through in this one, the world of karting is always very tight-knit. And while over 400 competitors over the course of the weekend look to do battle today, some things are bigger than racing. As special as it would be for more than 400 competitors to come away with a victory today, this weekend is extra special for the Warren family for a different reason.
Just over a week ago, Carrie Warren, mother of CKNA Grand National Champion Eli Warren, was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, only days before she and Eli's father, Keith, were set to celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary. The battle with cancer isn't new for Carrie. She was first diagnosed in May 2020, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and overcame her diagnosis after undergoing surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. Throughout her life, there's been little Carrie has enjoyed more than watching Eli race. For a woman who has held many titles, teacher, mother of 4, just to name a few, one stands above the rest: track mom. So it only seemed fitting that one of her first requests was to be in Charlotte watching her son Eli compete in this year's Spring Nationals. For many years now, the Warren family has been deeply intertwined with karting in its community. Keith owns the registration and timing software Race Select, powering CKNA races and countless other karting events every weekend. Their daughter Alexis, and even Eli himself, have also helped us produce broadcasts for major karting events in the past. While more than 430 drivers will be competing to win come Sunday afternoon, there's one person we're all rooting for in her battle against metastatic breast cancer. A mother of 4 who isn't giving up. A loving wife who, even when the odds are stacked against her, is determined in her defiance. A race fan, and most of all, a warrior. Carrie Warren.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's coverage of the CKNA Spring Nationals as we're minutes away from the start of racing action. To decide who comes away with the hardware here today, Justin Prince. Alongside me in the booth is Bradley Dalton. So as we get set for today, Bradley, your thoughts as we get set for the start of racing in a few minutes.
I'm going to quote a song here really quick. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called finals. Because this is going to be exciting here. I'm, of course, quoting Prince in that one. But this is going to be a very, very exciting, electric day, and I cannot wait to see how this starts. Of course, we're kicking it off with juniors here in just a few minutes, and whenever juniors get out on the track, I tell you what, fireworks are going to go off, and it is going to be exciting because from then until the last final of senior medium, it is non-stop karting on track.
On that note, it's time for tonight's playing of the national anthem. If you're at the facility and you're able, please stand and rise and remove your caps for today's playing of the U.S. national anthem. Thank you. And on that note today, Bradley, these drivers are just moments away from the start of racing for the finals today to get themselves in the history of CKNA as a race winner at the national level.
This is going to be an exciting day. And of course, if you want to see all the features action, become a Kart Chaser member for $9.99 a month. We're going to take it behind into members only territory. If you're joining us, I can't wait to see you on the other side here. Justin, let's go ahead and jump over because it's time to get some racing done here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.